Today in our 2018 Toyota Tundra, we're going to take a look at and show you how to install the Westin PRO TRAXX oval 4-inch Nerf bars. These are in polished stainless steel. The part number is 21-23250. Now here's what our Nerf bars are going to look like installed. As you can see, they really add a good look to the truck. They kind of finish out that bottom line, especially in this instance with the chrome on the front and the back. Just kind of flows right through. You can see they're turned in on either end, so they're going to run up straight. They have that little bit of a turn in. I think it gives it a really nice look, kind of contours along with the vehicle. Here you can see your nice wide step pad. I think this is a huge improvement over the step pads we used to see, which were basically just like little stickers that kind of wrapped around. Those could be pretty slippery. These have a nice raised tread to them, so even with dirt, moisture, things like that on your feet, as you step on there, you should be able to get a good grip. Overall, these are going to be 4 inches wide, so it's going to offer you good footing as you're stepping in and out. Also, these are a polymer material. They've been treated to resist UV rays. We're not going to have to worry about cracking, fading, and things like that. You'll notice here also each of our brackets have the plastic cover on them. Same type of material, polymer material, resists the fading, stands up against road salts and those kind of elements. But it gives you a really nice clean look. You don't have to see just that single metal bracket come down, and each one of those are going to have a cover on them. Now, something I really like about these Nerf bars are the way the brackets are designed. They're made specifically for this application, so it's not like a universal kit that we have to kind of piece together. Making it even easier, the brackets go directly into already existing weld nuts in the rocker panel here. So we don't have to worry about using any kind of nut zerts or any kind of spacers, any kind of blocks to get attachment points. They're all already here. We can bolt directly to them. Now the brackets themselves are heavy duty steel construction. Of course we want that because we're going to be putting weight down on them. But they also have a nice black powder coat finish, so should resist corrosion for a very long time. Something else I like about these, the ends, front and back, are fully sealed all the way around. If we compare that to the older style Nerf bars and running boards, those just had like a plastic cap on the end. Well, that plastic cap generally let in moisture, let in water, and then on the bottom side here, they'd really rust out. This being fully sealed like that, we're really not going to have to worry about that. In addition, with it being polished stainless steel, it's going to hold up to corrosion very well anyway. The positioning of both steps is also quite nice. Whether you're getting in the front or the back, seems to be in the ideal location to where you could get right in there and get on the seats. This series of Nerf bars from Westin gets really good customer reviews. All of them are easy to install, nice and sturdy, and they last for a very long time. The closest comparison you would have here would be more of the matte finish. While all the Westin steps are going to provide you about the same kind of footing and the same width. But if you prefer, there is the matte finish if you want something that's not as noticeable. Now we're going to begin our installation here on the driver's side front of the truck. We're going to come right underneath the door seam, follow the pinch weld back, and we're going to find a bolt right here in our rocker panel. We're going to use a 12mm socket to remove that. You can see that one's right there. We'll take it out. Now if we come straight back, we're going to have 2 more. Those are located right here. Now we'll skip to here and take out the ones closer to the rear of the rear door. Now we can take our front bracket. It's the one that has the angle on the top. You can see that here. And our connection tab is going to point rearward. And we'll grab one of our M8 bolts. You want to put a flat washer and lock washer on there. We'll thread one into the hole we just removed that bolt from. The other one we're going to thread into the already existing hole that was right behind that. Now we're going to take the slack out here, but we don't want to fully tighten them at this time. For our next position back, we're going to use the bracket. It's going to look very similar to the rear bracket, but this rear edge is rounded. On the rear bracket, that's going to be on a sharp angle, so that'll be cut off flat. We're going to use the same type hardware for all of our attachment points here to the truck. And again, we want to snug them up but not tighten them down at this point. For this, you'll want to use a 13 millimeter. Then our rear bracket here, of course, it's going to go in the rear location. There you can see that flat spot we were talking about. Now we've got our plastic bracket covers. These are just made to give us a nice appearance. You can see there's a slot here on the back. Now as we put these in place, we want this top edge to sit in between the bracket and the pinch weld there. So we'll kind of start them up high, rotate them up and in. And we're going to take our small hex bolts. These are going to be M6s and a flat washer. We're going to place those through, just like that. Then on the other side, we want to put on another flat washer and also one of our nylon lock nuts. And again, we're just going to leave these loose for now. We can tighten them up in one of our last steps. We're going to do that on the two remaining here on the driver's side. Now with the brackets loosely installed, we'll take the appropriate step. Now generally they're labeled, but you want, for the driver's side, these two holes that are closer to each other, you want those to be forward, and you want these ends to turn in towards the vehicle. The hole for the rear are going to be further separated, so that needs to be towards the back. We'll rest that right up on our brackets. Kind of let the brackets hold it in place. I'm going to get one of our M10 bolts this time. Flat washer on it with a serrated lock washer. I'm going to thread one of those in here. And we'll get one in the rearmost bracket, and then we can install the 4 remaining. Now we'll start getting everything tightened down. We've got our 6 bolts installed here that hold the tube to the brackets. The first bolts we want to tighten down are going to be the ones that connect the brackets to the truck. And you will have torque specifications in your instructions, so be sure to check that. Next step is going to be to tighten the fasteners going through our brackets into the steps. And when you do this, you have the opportunity to level out your steps. You can see you can kind of move these in or out. So get them where you're comfortable, where you think they're good and level. And we'll start securing our head or our button head bolts. Now for these, we're going to use a 6 millimeter Allen key. And again, these have torque specs, so be sure to follow them. Now for our little plastic cover bolts, the little M6s, we're going to use a couple of 10 millimeters, and we'll get those secured. Now all you have to do is head over to the passenger side, and you're going to repeat that exact same process. And that'll complete our installation of the Westin PRO TRAXX oval 4-inch Nerf bars, part number 21-23250 on our 2018 Toyota Tundra.